Okay, this is the stealth copyrights. I've been approved by FBI in 2015 to format the stealth copyrights to be understood. So basically, there's 3 volumes to this, and this is the first volume. So I'm just gonna glaze over this, but you can pick this up at Amazon Kindle. It's called Stealth Creation: How to Make Stealth. So basically, there's a F-19 that is used. Now, this is apparently a functioning real jet from the Air Force, but this is a toy model. Skipping ahead, this is around 1986, so I'm guessing this is about 1985, probably. I'd say probably could be Christmas Vacation of 1985, where the stealth was developed first. So they've tried to trace this back to like the Have Blue project, but actually, Have Blue has inward facing upright fins, and they're not canted outward, like like the stealth fighter would have. But the Have Blue does not make it. I think Michael Shratt tried to reference Have Blue and didn't do too well on that. He was trying to put Ben Rich in there, but there's a thing where if you progress on looking at the stealth copyrights, see, here is starting. They start first with a square, which Peter Merlin said is the perfect shape to use for stealth. And they bounce that off of a grid, let's say like a chessboard would have, intervals of black and white, goes all the way across. Well, they get the stealth design from this square. They branch off, fill it in, going straight across best you can, but it follows the jaggeds, trying to make like a flying triangle. So what happens is they go, well, there's a square, and trying to make it fly as the square progresses off into the distance. So here, if you start with a square and you add another square on either side, you'll have like a small V. And they actually have a stealth airship that is like this small V. Then you have a bigger V where you keep adding these blocks out, the squares, and you get the Phoenix Lights, as their aircraft was V-shaped. Left out of Area 51, went down to Mexico, circled back, and came back to Area 51. And they wonder if this stealth was all alien. I'd say this was probably levitating because it would fall through the air with no support here. So I think this was alien tech out of Area 51. And they associate stealth with aliens a lot. So let's try to look ahead and see what they mean. So here you can have a mini version of the bomber. It's probably called a UCAV, and it's an unmanned aerial vehicle. So basically, all you would do is you would have the person here with the, I'd say a checkerboard, similar to like a chessboard. You could have either or, you're working with grids. And then over here you'd have this is called Jetfire or Skyfire. It's a model of a jet that looks quite realistic, and it would be off of Transformers back then, Generation 1. Basically, what are they showing here? They're showing that this is the F-19 toy, and here is their Jetfire toy. So it doesn't matter. It could be on either side of the board. They're trying to guess it here.
They may have been switched for all I know. I think they may have even been switched. But they're using these three images together. You're using the absolute, model size of a jet, and you're crossing it in with grid from the checkerboard to make stealth using an actual Air Force stealth jet that was accepted. And so they continue on where for the nose of the craft, they pick out various noses like an arrow or the safety arrow. There's also a flinted arrow. There's a nighthawk beak, and there's also an arrow that is a little more modern made for maybe a bow and arrow and other things like this. There's the flinted Indian arrowhead is closely associated with the stealth fighter, and everybody kind of knows that. So what they would do is they would take the here it shows they would take the well, see if you can get this. You can almost get this, and you got to get the book to see this, but I'm going to try to explain that what they're showing here is they have a Indian arrowhead right here. So what they're doing is with this Indian arrowhead, which is right here's the Indian arrowhead is all in this shape. They overlay the square right here as a diamond, and then you take the wing of the Jetfire, that toy. You put the wing on here, the other wing here, and you can even take the fins of the Jetfire and put them right here. And essentially, these are where the point of this square would be. You elongate the point, and then you find that you got to elongate the point more. Then you got to elongate the point even more. And then you end up putting like a pole here at each one of these elongations, which accounts for these poles on the side of the stealth fighter. So when that is all built, you have the basics on it. And then you scan ahead. Here is they have the stealth fighter here. So in a front view, it would kind of look kind of mountainous as they would heap up all the faceting, like a mountain. Here'd be like the wheels and the wing, and it's kind of facing you here on the tarmac. So what they would do, and then here you can see here are these ghost poles here, and there's one on the other side. So it was a decision to put 3 on one side, or 3 on the other, or 1 on one side, or 3 on the other. It didn't really kind of matter. But those are all things that are taken. So this is the Indian arrowhead that they would use as the design. And then you put over there your diamond, right? You overlay that. The extensions out here. Jetfire's fins and all that. And here'd be a Jetfire. Transformers. So these fins would flip out to be canted outwardly. So this fin here would be over on this side finally, and this fin would flip out and be on that side. These wings could open up like the F-14 Tomcat. They'd open up. So here'd be the afterburners here, and then here'd be these upright fins, or I guess they call them fins. That's what I'd call them. So it'd be taking these to incorporate onto your design. So here's the copyright registration, which you can't really see. So basically, they're then going to cut over into another Stealth Volume Part 2, where they're going to go into the F-22 Raptor and the others, and then they go into the third volume where they go into even more stuff. So check those out, and they lead off at Amazon's Kindle's website. So check them out, and thank you very much for following, and we'll explain these better in the future as needed.